Thank you. My name is Isaias Segovia, and the title of my project was the inequitable distribution of the urban heat island in Dallas County, Texas. The urban heat island effect causes a difference in the land surface temperature between urban and rural areas, with urban areas having a higher UHI temperature than rural areas due to the building materials having a lower albedo than vegetation. Two global trends, urbanization and climate change, will cause the urban population to see higher temperatures. This study looked at how the UHI is being distributed within certain demographics, socioeconomic, land use, and historical practices in Dallas County. To achieve, the goal of this study was to determine how the distribution of UHI is in Dallas County. To achieve this goal, the UHI was calculated from the Landsat 8 data. The demographic and socioeconomic data came from the US Census Bureau 2019 American Community Survey. The amount of impervious surface and canopy cover came from the 2019 National Land Cover Database, and the amount of area graded by the homeowner loan corporation was also calculated for each census tract. Dallas County is located in Texas. It has the 8th largest city, which is the city of Dallas. Dallas County has an area of 872 square miles and a population of 2.6 million people as of 2019. The population is broken down to 40% Hispanic, 29% white, 22% Black, and 6% Asian. The county has a median household income of $59,607 and a poverty rate of 14%. The land use for the county consisted of 66% of canopy cover, which is forest. During the 1930s, the city of Dallas was redlined by the US federal government through the Homeowners Loan Corporation for the allocation of federally backed loans. This slide shows the factors that this study looked at to try to determine how the UHI is being distributed in Dallas County. This map shows the lands cover for Dallas County. It came from the 2019 NLCD, and it was used to calculate the amount of area in each census tract that was impervious surface or canopy cover. The map shows that most of the area within the county that's developed is located to the north and west, while the more rural areas are located to the east and southeast of the county. This map shows the areas graded by the HLC, which helped to determine the loans that the federal government was offering based on location and race. It gave 4 grades of best, still desirable, definitely declining, and hazardous. The map shows the areas that were graded best in green, while the areas graded hazardous in red. Areas graded in best were predominantly white, while areas graded hazardous had a minority population. This data set was used to calculate the amount of area in each census tract that was graded by the HLC. This data just shows the Landsat 8 data that was used. It was captured on August 21st, 2021, and the bands 4, 5, and 10 were used to calculate the UHI for each census tract. This diagram shows the methods that I used to get my final results. Most of it consisted of using tools in ArcGIS Pro. This map is looking at the Black population and the UHI distribution. the map shows that most of the Black population is located to the south of the county. And it visually shows that census tracts that have a high Black population have a high UHI temperature. The image on the bottom left shows a census tract in yellow that's seeing the highest UHI temperature in the whole county. This census tract is seeing a UHI temperature of 1.64 degrees Celsius and has a Black population of 86%. And the extent of this image is shown on the map on the green rectangle. This map is looking at the Hispanic population and the UHI distribution. The map shows that most of the Hispanic population is located to the west, with parts in the east. The map visually shows that most of the census tracts that have a high Hispanic population are seeing a high UHI temperature. The image on the bottom left shows a census tract in yellow that's having the second highest UHI temperature. This census tract is seeing a 1.4 degrees Celsius and has a Hispanic population of 81%. This map is looking at the UHI distribution within the white population. The map shows that most of the white population is located to the north of the county, while and also that it visually shows that most of the white population is seeing a relatively low UHI temperature. The image on the bottom left shows a census tract in yellow that has the lowest UHI in an urban setting. This census tract has a UHI temperature of negative 0.6 degrees Celsius and has a population of 81%. This map is looking at the population that is 65 and older and the UHI distribution. It visually shows that most of the census tracts that have a high older population have a lower UHI temperature. This map is looking at the UHI and the median household income. The map shows that most of the higher earners are located to the north, and it shows that visually shows most of the census tracts that have a high median household income have a low UHI temperature, while the census tracts that have a low median household income have a high UHI temperature. This map is looking at the poverty rate and the UHI distribution. It's specifically looking at those who are below 400% of the poverty level. The map visually shows that most of those living in a census tract that has a high poverty rate are seeing a high UHI temperature. This map is looking at the amount of impervious surface in each census tract and the UHI distribution. The map shows that areas that have a high amount of impervious surface have a high UHI temperature, while those that have a low amount of impervious surfaces have a low UHI temperature. This map is looking at the areas graded by the HOC as best or still desirable. The map shows census tracts that have a lot of area graded A or B by the HOC having a relatively lower UHI temperature. This map is looking at the areas graded definitely declining or hazardous by the HOC, and it shows that most of the census tracts that have a high amount of area graded C or D having a high UHI temperature. In conclusion, the UHI is being distributed unequally within different communities. The census tracts that have a low UHI temperature visually have a large white population, high medium household income, a low poverty rate, low impervious surface, many people that are 65 and older, a large amount of area graded A or B by the HLC, while census tracts that have a high UHI temperature visually have a higher Black and Hispanic population, a lower medium household income, a high poverty rate, a high amount of impervious surface, a low amount of people 65 and older, a large amount of area graded C or D by the HLC. Some of the maps that were created in this study have been removed. The UHI distribution for the Asian population, the population under 5 years of age, those that are living in poverty below 125 and 200% in canopy cover have been removed because they didn't show that much information to visually assess how the UHI is being distributed. Future studies should try to make a regression to try to see what is being seen visually is is statistically correlated with UHI. And that concludes my presentation.